I was watching the other day a video by Tucker Carlson, which was quite interesting. He says that as an American, the most difficult thing that he could ever do was to understand that oppression can come also from the private companies. Apparently, Americans they believe that only government can give oppression, and for Tucker Carlson, noticing corporations that almost have a monopoly, like PayPal, like Chase Bank, deciding to terminate people's employment based on their political ideas, seeing corporations going woke, having a political message, and requiring everyone that works for them to have the same message, it made him realize that, yeah, there might be a problem here. And whenever you try to discuss this problem on an internet forum or on Twitter, you will find people that have the trifecta. People that are so far left that if they reach their hand, they can touch Hitler from the other side of the horseshoe. People that have their pronouns in their bio, that have the red rose of socialism in their bio, or that have their hammer and sickle in their name. And these people all of a sudden become strategic ANCAPs. All of a sudden they will be like, well, it's a private company, it can do whatever it wants. And it's like, oh, look where the ANCAP was hiding. Look what it was. You know, like, you're a little bit bewildered. You're like, what? The ANCAP, I found him, right? And these people, they think they have like the ultimate checkmate argument. You know, they flip six mana, private company can do whatever it wants. Ha, I win. Even though the American law has over 1,000 regulations for companies. Like if you're Coca-Cola, you can't drop some shit into water, right? You know, and poison a village. But it's really interesting. Like to me, it's so man-baffling. Like I, as a private individual, can't do whatever I want. But if for some reason I were to start a multinational corporation, then I could do whatever I want. Like starting a corporation is liberating, right? But I found the perfect argument for these people. And, you know, when you see them pop up as an anarcho-capitalist, you give them the argument and they go like, back down, you know, like they hide, they go back into hiding. So here's the argument. You look at their ideology, like what is the thing they want the most? They want no borders, no nations, stop deportation. Right? This is the number one thing they want the most. And in order to accomplish this, they want to abolish ICE. They want to abolish detention centers. They want to abolish these things. Perfect. I am sold. They are an evil. Borders are a scar on the planet. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I fully agree. But see, when you abolish something, when something goes away, you still have a hole in the market, don't you? You still have people that require the service of being deported. Now, if the government can't do it, let's privatize it. Put in the private sector to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do it more efficient and more cheaper than the government does it. Right? So the way it would work is that you would have a judge which issues the names of the people that require the service of being deported. You know, maybe people that are in the country illegally and have committed a crime or something like that. So they hand out the papers, and then private companies pick up the contract, and once the deportation has been done successfully, they show proof they get money from the government. Brilliant, isn't it? And you know those detention centers where they put kids in cages and they separate, they should be privatized as well. And then when the left goes, it's like, oh my god, they put kids in cages. Private company can do whatever it wants. Isn't it better? Like, honestly. If these people are such anarcho-capitalists and they love their private corporations so much, more than anything else in the world, privatize it. Make money out of it. Look, it's going to create jobs. It's going to create thousands of jobs. You know, like just corporations doing what needs to be done for the betterment of society. Isn't that their purpose? Maybe they can even have a woke message. I wonder what the woke message of a deportation corporation is going to be. Now you might say, well, V, you're an ANCAP. Oh my god, how can you say something like, America already does it with private prisons. I don't think there's any other country in the world which has private prisons besides America. No, seriously, correct me if I'm wrong. I legitimately don't think this is the case, right? And hey, it even goes into that American tradition where you have bounties for people. You know, it's not going to be deported dead or alive. It's just going to be like wanted for deportation. Bam, bam, bam. Now, some people told me, well, it creates false positives. It creates false positives. Well, the government can find these corporations. Like, they're not infallible, right? If they make mistakes, they have to pay for them. Any person that has been illegally deported gets to sue the company, make some money. Again, it incentivizes people to take action themselves. So someone wronged you, sue them, get some cash out of them. There might even be like free lawyers doing this. You might have like websites. Have you been illegally deported? Contact us. Blah blah blah. We'll do it for free. We just won like 30% of the lawsuit winnings. Like that. No, but I can't. Or do I? You know what would also be interesting? Like if you look at the private prison system, right? They make millions of dollars, and they take that money and then they lobby to politicians to make it very difficult for people to integrate in society once they get out of prison, so they go back into prison, right? Because they get paid per inmate that they house. So you have lobbying, like the 3-strike rules, the war on drugs, like all of these things. If you look behind, the private prison system pays a lot of money so that they pass. Now, if you were to have like private deportation companies that would also make millions of dollars, they would also start making activism and pushing. And you see Democrats all of a sudden being in favor of harsher control of people who jump the border without the paperwork. You'll see that. I know it's crazy what I'm saying, but it would be reality. No, but I just don't think it's going to be possible, right? But I mean, it would be possible if someone wants to do it, but no one is crazy enough to do it. But the funny thing is, like, it's such a good rhetoric against these strategic ANCAPs. It's a private company, can do whatever it wants. Oh, censorship only comes from the government. Oh, oppression only comes from the government. Perfect. If oppression can only come from the government, then if we're going to privatize the detention centers, there is no more oppression. How could there be oppression, right? There is no more government. Private company can do whatever it wants. Because here's the thing, right? Like, you see this time and time again on mainstream media. There's a person that committed crime. Like, for example, that... was he a wife beater or a rapist? I forgot. Can't tell my rapist from wife beaters apart nowadays. But he was getting deported from Sweden. And this young activist chica stood up and didn't let, like, the plane fly away, there was like another person that was being deported from the United States because she stole the social security number of someone, and you had like CNN make a big fuss out of it, and there were like people blocking the government cars and stuff like that. Man, this wouldn't happen with a private company. No, they would hire defense contractors. Defense contractors don't fuck around. Like maybe hire Blackwater. I heard they rebranded themselves. Like they would hire someone like Blackwater with ceramic armor and stuff. Like, they wouldn't care. There's no oppression, by the way, because it's a private company. It can do whatever it wants. Oh my god, no. But seriously, like, entertaining this thought is so ridiculously funny. Like, the way the left reacts to it, they don't know how to react to it, right? Because, like, this whole thing is a thought experiment for rhetoric. I'm not actually proposing these things. But it's actually funny to see how you have people that are so pea-brained that they legitimately think that oppression only comes from the government. And they go like, oh, and these people are socialists, right? Because they're not actual right-wingers. They're not actual people that are actual anarcho-capitalists. No. They pull stuff out of their ass in order to win an argument. So therefore, yes, privatize everything. Everything should be privatized. Put a little bit of a competition. Man, it would be very interesting to see how they do with jurisdiction. Because maybe like these corporations, like they would step on each other's turf, huh? Maybe get some cyberpunk themes going on with like one corporation managing to capture certain people to get deported, and another one just blows the tires out of that truck and gets the people into their truck and runs away with it. Would be funny. Entertaining for the television. Look, even better for the economy. Think of the ratings. Think of the ratings that this could do. Oh my god. I would also do this as well with the border, right? Like privatize the border. Can you imagine? They would DMZ that shit. It would be like North Korea, South Korea with mines in the middle, right? It would be the same with America. And I would make it like a reality TV show. Like if you have someone managing to get past the minefield, then God wants him there. He automatically gains citizenship. Alright. No, like if someone manages to get past the minefield and once, he is so desperate that he wants to get past the minefield and succeeded, Jesus Christ wants him in America. You can't argue that, you know. And again, you can televise it, put it on national TV. Wouldn't that be interesting? Man, I should make a video game where, or Dungeons and Dragons game with full anarcho-capitalist shit, you know, without any oppression, because oppression can't come from the companies. We understand. Did you notice that the left really doesn't complain about Amazon almost at all? Or, you know, like, because I understand it's like, okay, don't complain about social media, because social media is more left leaning, you know, I get that. It's like complaining about your attack dog. Perfect. I get, but why not Amazon? They don't complain about Amazon almost at all, and it's like, or Apple. But anyway, right? You know that there's this meme, which is 100% real. Thank you for watching, and again, like the people that are sharing my video, thank you a lot for doing that, because the algorithm doesn't really work. It's not oppression; it's private company can do whatever it wants. So the only people that can save me are private individuals. I will check the comment section to see what you guys have said, and see you all later tonight when I'm going to play some video games on the live stream.